all these is like trophies. The WBC, the WBA, the IBF and the WBO. Y'all gotta clean it. Y'all gotta clean this up.
This is a guy that we can't overlook. You never overlook any opponent. We can't base everything just off power.
The problem, we try to be as much fair as we can.
Yeah, no.
Despite the written rules regarding it, but we also know that there's a commercial value in certain fighters that can improve the chances of the race.
After the highly debated fight between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., boxing legend Floyd Mayweather didn't hold back his criticism of the World Boxing Association. He accused the organization of corruption following the match, which took place on March 1, 2025, at Brooklyn's Barclays Center. The fight ended in a majority draw, allowing Davis to keep his WBA lightweight title.
Has been on a big stage for a while now, but we all have to give somebody else the opportunity. Before I became TBE, somebody had to give me the opportunity. So what Tank is doing is giving another tough competitor an opportunity. He's tough, and when this fight first was made, I didn't know much about this fighter. Then I had a chance to do my homework and look him up. And I faced guys like this before, you know, and this is a guy that we can't overlook. You never overlook any opponent. We can't base everything just off power.
The decision has sparked major controversy, especially over a critical moment in the 9th round when Davis took a knee but wasn't penalized by referee Steve Willis. Mayweather's accusations have only intensified the scrutiny on the WBA's handling of the fight. However, Davis himself admitted, "I didn't know I could get disqualified for this," adding even more debate to the already heated discussion about the match's outcome.
But I must say, do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that. Or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell?
After the controversial draw between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr., the New York State Athletic Commission (NYSAC) acknowledged a technical issue that stopped officials from properly reviewing a possible knockdown in the 9th round.
Which I actually get. I understood that statement because, hey, look, Steve Willis he didn't call it a knockdown.
You take a knee like that, that looks like a knockdown, all right?
So I think it's going to be very difficult for the New York State Athletic Commission to review this.
This revelation has outraged fans and analysts, as the missed call could have changed the fight's outcome. WBA President Gilberto Mendoza has already stated that taking a knee without being hit should count as a knockdown. With growing pressure, the NYSAC is now being urged to address the situation.
Steve Willis said it was officially a knockdown. The fight could have gone differently, making it very difficult to review this after the fact and overturn it. But the problem is still, though Steve Willis did not call it a knockdown officially, he also didn't call it a slip.
You take a knee like that, that looks like a knockdown.
He had to pick one or the other. And according to the rules, if it's a slip, the referee has to let it be known that it's a slip.
Some in the boxing community believe Lamont Roach Jr. should have won but was held back by Gervonta Davis's star power and marketability. This perspective suggests that factors like Davis's status and financial influence may have influenced the fight's outcome.
Tender regime, boxing, check it back in with y'all, man. What's good? What's good? Look, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach. Incredible fight. Incredible fight. Tit for tat, wit for wit, athleticism for athleticism. What an amazing fight. I had Lamont Roach winning 7-5. 7-5, 8-4, I had Lamont Roach winning. Now, I understand the draw politically. It's Tank, he's a star. You don't want to just give him an L and he didn't just get his ass whooped like from dusk till dawn. But he got outboxed tonight. Lamont Roach won that fight. But I understand the draw politically. How did you see the fight, bro? Tell them how you saw the fight.
Yo, I saw Roach winning the fight, man. I had Roach winning the fight 7 rounds to 5, Tank, meaning Roach favor. I don't know how we ended up here, but we can say it was the politics, because, you know, Tank a bigger fighter. If you want to beat the king, you got to beat the king. In order to beat the king, you got to knock him out. And they ain't doing this fight. But, hey, the next fight going to be big bread, though. So that's all I got to say, man.
Yeah. Great fight, man. Great fight. Great fucking fight.
With growing scrutiny on the officiating and the WBA's handling of the fight, accusations of corruption in boxing have only intensified. WBA President Gilberto Mendoza added to the controversy with a shocking statement about the Davis versus Roach bout. Taking to Twitter, he reiterated, Mendoza's remark has put Davis under heavy scrutiny, as it suggests that an incorrect ruling may have affected the fight's outcome. Fans and analysts are now debating whether the match should be reviewed or even overturned. MMA journalist Ariel Helwani weighed in, calling the fight satisfactory but not exceptional. He focused on the controversial 9th round, arguing that under standard boxing rules, Davis's knee should have been counted as a knockdown. This view is shared by many in the boxing community who believe the referee's decision played a major role in the fight's result. The incident has reignited discussions about rule interpretations and the consistency of officiating in boxing.
This, that, and the other, like it all kind of felt like an afterthought. And then the fight happens, and truth be told, like the fight wasn't the best fight of all time. It was fine. It wasn't your vintage Tank Davis fight. There wasn't a knockout. There wasn't a knockdown scored by him. It was just sort of fine. If that was your first time watching Tank, you're probably like, okay, yeah, sort of, I get it. But it kind of speaks to his demeanor going into the fight. Like it just felt a little bit underwhelming. And then we get to the 9th round, and then it's complete madness, because in the 9th round, you probably have heard by now, the fight is moving along, and it is important to note that Lamont Roach lands a jab or two, and where we want to start the clock is up to debate. But he certainly lands a punch, and then seconds after that punch lands, that jab lands, all of a sudden Tank Davis takes a knee. He quickly takes a knee, and there it is right there. 9th round, 2:17. He is taking a knee, and he's looking to his corner. And he also, ever so briefly, it appears as though he's almost trying to call time. Let me tell you, in case you don't know, in boxing, you take a knee, that's considered a knockdown. You cannot call time. And you know what you also can't do? You also can't go to your corner mid-round and ask them to wipe your face. Ask them to do anything. You can't get a swig of water. You can't do this. You cannot do that. But that all happened. And so the referee for this fight is a legendary referee. Steve Willis, you have probably seen him in GIFs. He's got that kind of like big-eyed look. You've definitely seen him. He's a veteran of the fight game. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I'm not suggesting he was in on it. But there was certainly a fumbling.
Amid the controversy surrounding Gervonta Davis's recent fight against Lamont Roach Jr., boxing legend Floyd Mayweather Jr. has stressed the importance of financial responsibility for fighters. Speaking from experience, Mayweather urged Davis and other boxers to think ahead and invest wisely to secure their future. His advice highlights the short-lived nature of a boxing career and the need for athletes to prepare for life after the ring.
Turn. The name of the game is boxing. The name of the game is not slugging, because when the fight game is over, when boxing is all over, and you hang it up like me, you still want to be able to have your faculties. You still want to be able to have your brain. That's more important than anything. Fuck the money. Your health is more important than anything. The name of the game is to hit and not get hit. And I was the best at doing it, and I'm going to continue to teach these young fighters. The name of the game is to dish it out and not take it. And then when your career is over, take your money, invest it right, so you can have something. These people don't give a fuck about, these people don't give a fuck about us.
Gervonta Davis has repeatedly been involved in controversies, from legal troubles to personal conflicts. Throughout his career, he has faced multiple arrests and legal battles, often making headlines for issues outside the ring. Additionally, Davis has had public disagreements with key figures in boxing, including Floyd Mayweather. His frequent feuds and offering controversies have sometimes overshadowed his in-ring success, leading many to question his discipline and decision-making.
Recently, Tank Davis decided to upload this on his Instagram. Not sure what's wrong with Tank Davis. I don't know what legal issues he's having because he has a hearing close. I'm not sure when the date is, but him and Floyd Mayweather have always had this weird relationship where sometimes Tank doesn't seem to be in good terms, and then sometimes they are in good terms. The energy is off. Let me know what you guys think that post means, what he's going through. I hope he's doing good, because we want him to fight, and we want him to fight really good opposition. So let me know what you guys think. What's going on with Tank?
Gervonta Davis's decision to leave Floyd Mayweather's promotion was one of the most talked about moves of his career. While gaining control over his own path may have seemed like a smart choice, many believe that Mayweather's experience and guidance could have better helped him navigate the boxing world. As a boxing legend, Mayweather not only mastered the sport but also built a successful business empire, giving him valuable insight that Davis may have benefited from.
You know, so I don't want Tank to necessarily leave Mayweather. I think he's in this position because of everything that Mayweather and Leonard LB have done for him. So I do want him to do what he is saying. Take control of your career. Say that you want Shakur and actually fight Shakur. Say that you want Devin and actually fight Devin. You know, fight these guys. Don't keep making new names. Like, you gave Barrios a chance. You gave Isaac a chance. Like, you know, Gamboa. Like, those aren't the fights that we want.
A major criticism of Gervonta Davis is the quality of his opponents. Analysts argue that his team has carefully chosen fights that favor him, steering clear of the most dangerous challengers. While this is a common tactic in boxing to protect a fighter's marketability, it has raised doubts about whether Davis is truly being tested at the highest level.
Gervonta Tank Davis is one of the most overrated fighters in the sport of boxing right now, and not because of his skills, but because of his resume, and resume does matter. In my opinion, he's a victim of what I call Terrence Crawford syndrome, where you have a really bad promoter who only wants you to fight in promotion fighters who you know that they can 100% beat. If Tank Davis wants to be great, he's going to have to fight one of the other champions in the two divisions that he fights in, 135 pounds and 140 pounds. I'm going to list off all the champions in those divisions and tell you if I think he can beat them or not. So first we got the only other full champion in 135 pounds, Shakur Stevenson. If they fought, I think Tank has a good chance of maybe knocking him out in the later rounds. But if I had to bet my house on it, I would say Shakur Stevenson would beat him in a close decision, and it would end up probably being a boring fight. But I think Shakur has the skills to beat Tank Davis over a long 12-round fight. Now we have Subriel Matias, who's a scary Terminator-like fighter who gives up the early rounds to come on later and drown you in those later rounds. But he's very stiff, and he doesn't have very good footwork at all. I think Tank Davis will probably, box his face off for most of the 12 rounds. There might be some trouble in the late rounds. But if Tank can stay out of trouble, I think this is one of the few champions that he would beat, but I don't think he would fight him. Now we have Pitbull Cruz, who Tank already beat by a close decision, and Tank beat him with a broken hand, but it was on short notice, right? Pitbull Cruz only had 2 weeks to prepare for this fight. I think in the rematch, Tank would take a lot more punishment and even has the potential of being beat. If Tank's not perfect for those 12 rounds, I think Pitbull Cruz wins because he's been looking a lot better since their fight and has impressed me very, very much. Now we got Devin Haney. Devin Haney is very impressive. He really has everything. He has the defensive skills, the offensive skills. He's really showing his power and strength at 140 pounds.
Lightweight boxer Devin Haney weighed in on the Davis vs. Roach fight, praising Roach's skill and stating that he believed Roach deserved the win. Given Haney's experience and status in the boxing world, his opinion adds credibility to the ongoing debate about the fight's outcome.
On his fight against Lamont Roach, and what are your thoughts on the knockdown that wasn't called in round 9?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good fight overall. Lamont, I always knew Lamont was, he wasn't coming to lay down. I've been knowing Lamont since we was kids, so we came up in amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming in there to fight, but he did a lot better than I thought he would, and I thought he won the fight personally. Yeah, the no knockdown, that was like unheard of. It was the first time I've ever seen it with my own 2 eyes, and yeah.
Post-fight tensions between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach have intensified on social media, especially on X. Both fighters have engaged in public exchanges, arguing over the fight's outcome and the possibility of a rematch. X-user at BoxingFootT voiced frustration over the WBA's handling of the bout, stating, "This sharp criticism highlights the growing frustration among boxing fans who feel the WBA's rulings are inconsistent and harmful to the sport's integrity." Adding to the debate, renowned boxer Canelo Alvarez shared his thoughts, stating that Gervonta Davis's knee should have been ruled a knockdown. Given Canelo's experience and status as one of boxing's top fighters, his opinion carries significant influence within the boxing community.
Did Gervonta Davis take a knee, and should he have been deducted a point and in the end lost that fight to Roach, in your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion, if it was a draw, he take a knee. And plus the corner go up and put it a towel in the face, that's a disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rules, but it's not my business.
Gilberto Mendoza has called for a rematch, stating, "I have asked the WBA Boxing Committee to closely monitor a direct rematch case. However, we believe both fighters, as indicated in the post-fight interview, will reach an agreement to run it back." His proactive stance underscores the need to resolve the controversy and give both fighters a fair opportunity to settle the dispute. In response, X-user at Wordsmith directly challenged Mendoza's call for a rematch, arguing that Smith argues that Lamont Roach is relying on external pressure to secure a rematch rather than earning it outright. Many believe Gervonta Davis will avoid a second fight with Roach, given his history of not engaging in tough rematches. This belief is fueled by Davis's past decisions, such as not pursuing a rematch with Ryan Garcia or other strong opponents. Critics suggest that Davis prioritizes protecting his undefeated record over taking risks against fighters who have proven to be difficult matchups.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta "Tank" Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz again. He will not fight Lamont Roach again. He will not fight Tefimo. He will not fight He will not fight those guys. That's just not who Tank is.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
Well, what is?
You might see it in a minute.
The controversy surrounding Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr. has sparked intense debate. Do you think the WBA and NYSAC handled the situation fairly, or was there corruption at play? Should there be a rematch to settle the dispute? Share your thoughts in the comments below.